Look out your window at a tree. Imagine coming into contact with them. Their bark is like your skin, a protective cover. Is your meeting necessarily violent? Killer trees. Trees, a major hazard to drivers in Poland. Trees are the most common fixed object struck by cars. Remove roadside trees. Impact with trees is particularly prevalent in single vehicle crashes. I run my fingers across the spruce's tree's wounded bark and can smell its fragrant resin. The trunk wound is fresh. The tire marks are fresh. This is the 46th injured tree I am measuring. But this isn't a regular road. I am on a forest road. There are no euphemisms for what is happening here. It is being pummeled. They will say it wasn't us, or we were following orders, or it was for public safety, for your own security. I will say, trees are our fellow life forms. Trees cannot give way or escape. Trees maintain social networks, have societies. Trees power food webs. I will also say there once was a forest road. I hope to never say there once was a forest, although I've already said it once in my 40-something years. Browska Road is where two management types intersect. Heading east toward Poland's border with Belarus, the national park is on the left and the state forest on the right. There are visible differences. The park has more deadwood, more varied demography of trees, alive and dead, more diverse species composition. But underground and in the crowns, the trees on both sides of the road meet, touch, talk. Browska is named after a place on the other side of the border in Belarus, just like other roads in Białowieża forest, such as Kamieniecka. These forest roads lead to Belarus, where the forest continues, where Puszcza Białowieska becomes
Białowieżska Puszcza.
From this road, one can peek into the heart of an old-growth forest. Old forests such as these with large old trees, like Białowieża forest's moss-soaked oaks with 7-meter girths and capacious crowns, help cool the planet, purify air, pump this air with phytochemicals that defend cells from damage, and nourish fungi that can inhibit viruses. We need them more than they need us. Along Browska Road lies a cemetery of victims of fascism in the Second World War. Its treed quietude beckons respect for the 222 persons brought twice to Browska Road by Germans in 1942 and executed. Further along lies a wooden house where the late zoopsychologist Simona Kossak lived for some 3 decades. She gently rode this very road and famously shared her house and its environs with creatures of the forest. The forest cultivated by man is to the wild forest as the cow is to the bison, as the village dog is to the wolf, wrote Kossak. This stretch of Browska is called Simone Kossak, the Y denoting a possessive, Simona's road. You can hardly pass this road on a bicycle or on foot now. Along its 4 or so kilometers to the Belarusian border, heavy vehicles belonging to the construction company Budimex, as well as to the Polish military and border guard pass, one every 5 minutes. They are building Poland's 186-kilometer border wall using concrete, steel, and razor wire. 50 kilometers of this wall will pass through this forest, which could do without added pressures without more imposed lines and boundaries. The soft forest floor yields and vibrates under a human caterpillar, here to flatten its surface, which now sustains deep undulating ruts. The markers demarcating the national park are ignored in places, even broken. The road is covered in sand, speckled with cigarette butts, shells of sunflower seeds spat out by soldiers, slimy oil cans. A hornbeam's pale hardwood stands exposed from a deep scrape, and broken tree roots, especially the shallower ones of spruce, but also those of hornbeam, oak, poplar, and others, are scattered like bones. Trees' root systems are bending and breaking. Now come the cement trucks, which, like the yellow, red, and blue trucks with sand, leave spills. What's spilled gets bulldozed onto the road's swelling shoulders. This is a violent meeting of humans and trees. Injured tree roots drip nutrient-rich water like blood, leaving dark, wet spots along the road. A hornbeam and oak lie in repose, like a mixed-species couple after being uprooted and toppled. A group of flattened hornbeam saplings are not so flexible that they will bend back to standing. In the road lies a dying moth, commonly named the dotted border moth. Just near it is a dying ground beetle, its one smooth, shiny carapace crushed ajar. They are early victims of vehicle collisions, as spring is just arriving. But soon amphibians will be on the move, and there could be carnage of frogs and toads. One morning, we dislodge and collect pieces of razor wire, mixed into the sand with other litter strewn along the road's length, alongside tracks of forest natives, badger, deer, fox. As soon as this coming summer, the invading small balsam could emerge. This touch-me-not thrives on disturbance. On this broken, widened road, border guards stop their vehicle to check our documents. They ask officiously, "Are you here for a project or permanent employment?" I tell them I hope permanent, but later wish I'd said, as long as it takes to tear this wall down. Later, a soldier leans out the window to yell, "You shouldn't be on this road," and a driver stops to say, "If only you saw the border." At learning, we are mourning trees. The border wall construction lays bare how injustice in the human world spills into the wildlife world. What is this wall for? It is for keeping out people escaping war, people moving in search of something better, safer, more promising, people with hope. It is a wall blocking an invasion of hope. Humans, a major hazard to trees. Humans, a major hazard to humans. Humans, capable of solidarizing with other humans and other life forms.